Morning folks, I'm just dropping this little short video this morning. I'm actually driving back up to Verona this morning to catch my flight back to Scotland in the morning. But I had a very interesting call last night. You remember that in my last video I talked about the kind of multi-purpose room downstairs and kind of working space downstairs, which is very typically Italian. I couldn't work out, how the house has been designed that way. But I actually had the opportunity to speak to Roberto de Cecine, I think it's pronounced, who is the son of the gentleman who lived in the house. Now I got it all wrong, and in fact I thought it'd been, the family had split up, because I knew that the wife and the two children lived in Switzerland, and I thought, the gentleman who had passed away last year had lived here. But Roberto actually called me yesterday to congratulate me on buying the house and gave me a little bit of history of the house. And they never actually the family never lived permanently in this house. It was a holiday home. They all lived up in Switzerland, but their father was born in the village. So he was of Italian descent. He was born in the village, and in the 70s they had this house built so that they could come here for their holidays. And Roberto was telling me every summer they came to Italy for their holidays, and they went to the beach and they went into town, and what he said was the house was hardly ever lived in, and certainly for the last 20 years they were hardly ever near the house. It was only really the father that came occasionally. So it explains the condition of the house and the fact that there's not a lot of wear on the appliances. And it was interesting that the downstairs kitchen looked like it got used more than upstairs, and he said, yeah, because we always spent our time in the downstairs kitchen rather than upstairs. We only went upstairs to go to bed. So it answered a lot of questions to me. But the multi-purpose room at the back, I couldn't quite work out what its purpose was. And he said to me, his father was a real passionate baker, and his intention was that he wanted to open a bakery in the village and open it in the house, and to use one of the garages and the kitchen downstairs and this multi-purpose room for his baking. But sadly, as Roberto said to me, the family got really busy, as the children grew up, and both his parents were professionals, and they were just too busy. They didn't have time to come to the house. They didn't have time to do all the things that they'd planned to do. And then his mother and father got elderly. He was saying his father was 84 when he passed away last year. So, a sad story, but it's certainly an opportunity for me to turn it around. I've said that I'll keep in contact with Roberto, and that he ever wants to visit in the future with his family, he's got young children, that he can bring them to the village and see where his family used to spend their time. Hopefully by then I'll have it all renovated. But I just thought it was a really sweet story. And it really adds to my understanding of the house and why it was done the way it was. And it also explains the quality of some of the furniture, and the fact that it's clearly that his parents were reasonably well off, and that they could afford to build this house down here and furnish it the way they did, whilst also living in Switzerland. So, nice wee story. So I've made sure I've been secure. I've given keys to Massimo, the next door neighbour, who's been really helpful to me, and I'm now driving 6.5 hours up to Verona to catch a flight back to Scotland. But I will be back. It's absolutely stunning here. I mean, I'll just swing around, look at that. I mean, it's breathtaking. And if you go up the top of the hill here, we're on the side of the hill, you go up the top of the hill and you can just see for miles. You can actually see all the way to the sea. And we're middle of September, and it's going to be 29-30 degrees today. So it's lovely, absolutely lovely. and I've really enjoyed. I've been in Italy for 2.5 weeks now, and it's just been a joy, an absolute joy. My Italian still needs lots of work, but I'm having a good time. So, ciao for now.